What's going on, everybody? Tywin here, bringing you a short video on how to go to New Game Plus. I've had several subscribers and people on Twitter asking me how exactly you get to go to New Game Plus and master things more than once. So I'm just gonna make a little video here so you guys who don't know, I'm sure most of you do, but if you don't, this video will help you. First though, I want to thank everyone who watched the Infinity Blade Masters trailer on my channel and the other Masters channels, and who subscribed to that channel so far. If you haven't checked out the trailer yet, I'll put a link in the description and also a link to the Infinity Blade Masters channel. It's a little collaborative YouTube channel that 6 of us from the Infinity Blade forums, some of the best players on the forums, we decided we wanted to make a channel together about everything Infinity Blade, Infinity Blade 1, 2, the franchise, everything, and kind of try and be the #1 user-generated source of Infinity Blade news. It's a pretty cool little project. We have the attention of Chair Games, who made Infinity Blade, obviously, and Donald Mustard over there at Shared. They've been keeping an eye on our channel, so the fact that we have their attention can only mean good things. So hopefully this will be blowing up, especially if and when Infinity Blade 3 comes out. So if you haven't checked out that channel, definitely should. We debuted last week, so once again I'll put the link in the description for anyone who has not checked it out yet. So basically, going to a new game, all you have to do is beat the God King once. Once you beat the God King once, then New Game Plus will open up in the options menu. So we're gonna go ahead and fight the God King here with light weapons, just for fun, because I don't know, I don't use light weapons a lot. Usually I use heavy or dual, so we'll go ahead and fight him with the Infinity Blade here. Infinity Blade versus Infinity Blade dual. So I would recommend, before you go to New Game Plus, you should try to max out the level in old game. At least, I would say at minimum, you might want to wait till you're level 50 or so to do New Game Plus. I mean, I didn't do New Game Plus until I had mastered nearly everything except the gem set, because I started New Game Plus before that update to the game, and I was level, by the time I got back to playing Infinity Blade 2, I was almost level 700. I didn't want to sacrifice all those levels to get the gem set. So I'm one of the early New Game Plus players who just doesn't have the gem set in New Game Plus. But if you haven't started New Game Plus yet, I would try to master everything, and of course do negative rebirth and get the gem set, because it's cheap and it's a good XP drain. So I would definitely recommend doing that for sure. So there we defeated the God King. He's fairly easy. Of course, we have good equipment equipped, but you should be able to beat the God King fairly early on. Although, if you're low level, you definitely want to stay in old game and not only gain more skill, but also just gain more levels and master the items, because New Game Plus, the enemies get harder and harder every new game, and if you are at a low level when you start new game, it's going to be hard for you to progress to the next new games. Now the new games will even out the more you do them, but if you're not fairly high level at first, it can be somewhat problematic for you in the first new game. So now we beat the God King. Obviously we see Issa there, with her staff presumably coming to save us. So we'll see if Infinity Blade 3 picks up there, or if Brandon Sanderson writes a new novel or novella that kind of fills in the gaps and carries on Issa's story. I know there are many who are interested to see who she is, exactly what she's all about, what her end game is, and where her story goes from here. So hopefully in either a novella or in the next Infinity Blade game we get more of her storyline. I mean, at least I'm interested anyway. So yeah, we killed the Gawking, blah blah blah. We're back at the beginning. Now you go into the character menu, go hit the little gear, and you'll see the current active game. And right below it, if you have beaten the Gawking, it will say Start New Game Plus, re-earn and remaster all your items, level up your character even further, blah blah blah. Check the check mark if you want to do that. If you don't, if you're not ready yet, obviously hit the X. And remember, before going into new game, go to backwards game, which I will make a video here soon and put the link in the description. Thank you everyone. Until next time, this is Tywin the Vile.